the Super Speedway.
Welcome to episode 302 of the Super Speedway podcast, recorded Monday, October 30th, 2023. I'm your host, Eric Young, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, James Cush. James, how's it going tonight?
Oh, it's good, man. I got the Lions on right next to me. We're recording on a Monday. I think it doesn't need to be said why we're recording on a Monday.
Right.
We got you've got littles, I've got littles, and tomorrow's trick or treating. So
yes,
we have plans tomorrow.
Yes, we do. Although mine are old enough now, and it's going to be cold tomorrow, that we might just say we're in a real safe neighborhood. Just kind of go, hey, go on out and go trick or treating. See ya. We'll be here at the house.
do your thing.
We'll be at the house.
Go as fast as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Stay out till you're cold.
There you go.
So they're about the age.
Mine aren't that big.
They're about the age for me that I stopped enjoying trick or treating because I realized that you get a costume. The costume always sucks because they're never good. The costumes are always terrible that you buy.
They're getting better these days. Though.
Yeah, they're still terrible. And then I guess maybe I'm shopping at Spirit. Maybe that's my problem.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
But and then you have to put, as Jerry Seinfeld says, you have to put your winter coat over it anyway. So it just it's not worth it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. My wife said something about me dressing up as Mario tomorrow, and
nice.
I don't know.
That needs to be there needs to be a picture of that on social media.
No, this is a redo. So last year we were the Bluey family. So
oh boy.
Now
I think I remember that picture. I think that picture did make it to social media last year.
Yeah, it typically does. Somehow I get dragged into it. But they're all different now. The oldest one, she wants to do her own thing and she doesn't want to do the family thing anymore. So that's fine. It's fine.
We're technically having a company-wide costume party at work tomorrow, and I have a bunch of "Hello, my name is" stickers in my drawer, so I'm going as Dave from The Office, the gym costume tomorrow. I will stick that on.
You're not going to go 3-hole punch, Eric?
No, I'm not even putting that much effort in. Just going with Dave. So
it's going to be put the book on your face?
Yep, no book face for me.
Oh, man. He had the best ones.
Yeah, they were all good.
The best ones.
They were all good.
Yeah.
Well,
we diverged.
I feel a little weird tonight, James, because I'm facing a different direction than normal. I moved my office around today, and it's really strange because I'm literally talking to a wall today. But
well, that's good.
It's like, I mean, I guess it's normal talking to you, right?
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, no, that's well. I wasn't gonna do the zinger, but if you want it, I'll give it to you.
We got beat.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
James,
well, I'm watching the Lions, so that's I'm paying as much attention to you as I normally do.
That's why you sound distracted. Let's talk.
I am always distracted.
Let's talk Martinsville, James. We had one great race this weekend, and we had another one that was a race. Let's talk about the race first. NASCAR Cup Series had the Xfinity 500, and old Ryan Blaney, YRB, gets her done, locks himself into the Final Four. I mean, why did any of us bet against Dale Jr.?
He made a fool of us all except for Dale Jr. Yep. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
unbelievable.
Great run from Blaney. He was kind of a factor all day long. It looked like Martin Truex Jr. was going to be qualifying on the pole and running well until he screwed himself on pit road, and that was the end of his day. But Blaney gets her done, gets himself into the playoffs, which, I guess the interesting thing is the four going in to this race were the same four going out to the playoffs. So we did all that.
Got a little hairy.
Yeah, we did all that. Nothing really changed, but there were some tense moments, especially if your name's William Byron.
Yeah, it was, the middle portion of the race was pretty tense, and then what we didn't know watching live was how bad he was struggling in the race car.
Right.
With the heat. So I can only imagine how miserable that whole experience must have been.
Well, I mean, so bad that he thought he was married after the race.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a brother-in-law. Yeah. Can you imagine driving with the furnace blowing in your face the entire time for 500 miles in that place? Oh, man.
No, I mean, I can't imagine anything that these guys do, really. I mean, and I've talked about this on here before, when there's a turn on US 10 here by us, and I'm sure you're probably familiar with it. The speed limit's 75, or I think it's 75, And if you round that thing 75, 80 miles an hour, it feels like you're going to roll over. And
Yeah.
doing the speeds they do on these tracks and like turning the corners the way they're doing at Martinsville, the G-forces that it must feel like going through there, just that alone, let alone you add the heat to it, you add hot air blowing on you. I mean, I'm so claustrophobic. I couldn't handle it. I'd have been pulling in. I give him a lot of credit.
And that's why you've got the points, right?
Yep.
That's why he's got all those bonus points. And Aric, if he's one win short in a stage short, he doesn't make it.
Yeah.
That's how it goes to show you how valuable every single point is on the racetrack. And, Denny Hamlin has an issue at Homestead, and that's all she wrote. He put a monster day together, and it wasn't enough. He needed to win. Couldn't get it done.
Yeah. So Blaney kind of put on a heck of a performance. Second in stage 1, first in stage 2, wins the race. And Byron pretty much did the opposite. Ran outside of the top 10 all day. Did not get bonus points, and that's what
qualify well.
Yeah, that's what made this such an interesting race, because Blaney went from being the guy on the bubble to all of a sudden it's Byron, and then you got Denny Hamlin, running up there at the end. He ends up third, but he was coming. And if he wins, then that bumps Byron out. So, like I said, we ended up the same as we came in, but it shouldn't feel like that in the mid part of the race. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of drama. One of the good things about having this race here at Martinsville is just that there's a lot of positions to be gained at any given time. And you had some different pit strategies going on there late, and points could be had. And Byron, with the struggling that he had, things go a little bit differently, and he's trapped a lap down. Again, you can tumble really quickly. So even though you look at it and you look like that's a 13th place finish, not much of a day for him. But if you really think about it, it's like you can battle through and still make it based on, just giving it whatever, the best effort that you had. And this is his worst finish, I think, in this last run here in the playoffs.
It is.
He's had a pretty good stretch, but even so, I mean, again, just to reiterate, like, that's why you do the work beforehand.
Yep.
And Martin Truex Jr. to bring that part of this up. But you think about Martin Truex Jr., and he squandered every opportunity.
Yep.
Every single opportunity. And him and Byron came into this thing tied, at the start of the playoffs with the same amount of points.
Right.
And one guy was consistent, won races and ran up front, and the other guy never did anything and had one top 10 finish.
Yeah. And
you've got one guy in, one guy out, and it's that simple. You think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to say there, really. And like you said, every mistake that they could make, they made. Truex, battles back, gets 5 spots back after a speeding penalty, then they drop the jack on pit road. I mean, the pit stops for that team have just been a comedy of errors the entire playoffs. Like we said, you win this regular season championship, you get that buffer, but you can't do that in this round. You have to perform in the round of 8 to make the final 4, and they just didn't perform, and they're out. You can even go far. Let's look at Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin finishes third in this race, had a great run all day. One mistake took him, one mechanical issue, mistake, however you want to look at it, at Homestead. That was it. That was the turning point for Denny Hamlin's playoffs, and now he's going to go another year without winning a championship in the Cup Series.
Right. And that's the things that Byron and that, you think about the 24 team, that's the things that didn't happen to them.
Yep.
Even when they have a bad day, that team battles and they find a way to improve throughout the race. And, going back to our winner, Ryan Blaney, that's kind of what they've got going on here of late. They, since Talladega, since they got that win, they've been just really sound, bringing fast race cars. They lead laps every week.
Well, it's luck, James. Didn't you see that question in the media center? Did you see his response?
Yeah, it's not luck. There's no luck about it.
I thought he
Some
did a great job
but not
answering.
all of it.
He did such a good job answering that question.
I mean, that team busts their butt,
Yeah.
and they improve and they get better.
Yep.
And that's, Aric, that's playoffs. And that's why NASCAR has the system in place. You look at the World Series right now. I haven't paid attention to baseball in 15 years, but if you look at the playoffs in baseball, it's always a little bit wild, and the teams that get better along the way usually make it to the World Series. Same with hockey. You're probably more familiar with hockey than anybody I know. Look at the Florida Panthers last year. Took out the team with the most wins in the history of the regular season of the NHL and went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. I mean, it's not to say that Ryan Blaney was that deep into the hole, but that team put it together when it mattered the most and got their win when it mattered the most. And then at Martinsville, ran so freaking good, they didn't need the win, but beat everybody's butt anyway and on their way to the championship. I mean, that's, if momentum's real, he's got it right now.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing I think that helped him is September 16th. September 16th, Joey Logano fell out of the playoffs. That was the only other Penske car that was in the playoffs. With that happening, all the resources go to Ryan Blaney, and that allows them to get better when that team has struggled this year. That the whole Penske organization has struggled. Ford has struggled, and Blaney was able to get all that effort put onto his team and help him. And it's a team sport. It's a team effort. Again, Truex. I don't think Truex necessarily. I guess he sped on pit road, but he's not the one who's making all the mistakes during the playoffs. It was a team issue.
Yep.
Not saying he was innocent either, but it was a team issue. It was not all Truex. So the fact that
you can hear on the radio, Aric.
Oh yeah.
I want to jump in because you made a great point. But you can hear on the radio the driver's frustration. Martin is extremely frustrated with that team, and I think that impacts the driving as well.
Oh yeah.
And I think it for that 19 team to just put a exclamation point on your point. That whole team started to snowball, and it is just a catastrophe.
Yeah.
From where they were. I mean, they're 12th in points right now. I mean, it's completely, completely out of hand for how far they came. Sorry, I interrupted you, but I wanted to jump in there. Yeah, because you were making a great point, and I'm like, yes, he did. The team is so bad. Oh man.
So I wanted to do something, James. We do this often, and we tend to do it on a different end of the spectrum. But so Ryan Blaney gets the win here. It's his 10th victory, 305 Cup Series races. Where does he place all time right now with 10 victories? He's in pretty good company with 10 victories, James.
Well, he's ahead of Alan Kulwicki. He's ahead of he's nipping at the heels of guys like Ernie Irvan.
Yeah. Well, he's tied now 10. At 10 with Sterling Marlin.
There you go. Yep.
William Byron.
Yeah.
Clint Boyer and Donnie Allison.
Oh, Clint Boyer. Yeah. Yeah.
He's 3 races away from Tim Richmond. So.
And he's 1 race away from the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
So is William Byron.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. 10 victories for 10 victories for Blaney, who not too long ago was the guy who just couldn't finish. So
well, remember Kyle Petty said he was Casey Kane?
Yeah.
Yeah. Casey Kane didn't come this close to getting one, so I think we can cross that off. Yeah, Ryan's career is very interesting, kind of ebbs and flows, but he's always super consistent. He's always in the round of 8, and this year he finally took that round of 8 berth and didn't squander it. That team, we've talked about them a lot in the past of how they get to this point and they get to the playoffs and it just all comes apart, and it's going the other way for them right now, and they got to feel confident.
James,
going into Phoenix.
How dare you make a Kyle Petty reference on this podcast?
What the is Kyle Petty got to do with this?
There you go. Come on, man.
Well,
you didn't even give me the moment to play it.
I know. I got to give you room to breathe on that one. That's my bad.
Yeah, give me a beat. You got to give me a beat.
Yeah, I know. Just a tick. I know, just a tick. Sorry, man. My bad.
It's all good. You're just messing up the flow of the show. It's all right.
No it's all biggie. Good, man. Yeah, I know.
Big moment of the day. We had a car casualty during the race, James. It wasn't a race car though.
We did. Yeah.
We lost the pace car.
Well, at least it didn't hit the fence.
Yeah.
That's always.
It didn't hit the fence.
Remember that happened at Belle Isle?
Yeah, nobody ran in. Yeah, I was there, James. I was there.
Yeah, wasn't that? Yeah, that was a Corvette, or that was a Chevy too. It was a Corvette.
Yep,
Yeah,
that was a Corvette. Yep, all Chevy. But it wasn't Chevy's fault. It was the rubber buildup. Got caught in the wiring, I guess, supposedly.
If you see those tires that they showed, it's definitely believable. That's for sure.
So let's use that as a transition, James. We had, I would argue that the first half of this race was the best short track racing we've seen with the car, with this next gen car. Has NASCAR fixed the package? They brought a new tire this weekend. It seemed to do what they wanted it to do. Did they fix it? Are they at least on the right track? What do you think of what they've done? Can
we give them a grade?
Sure, let's give them a grade.
I'd say it was a B.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with a B. B. Yeah,
because it's an improvement. It's not there, but it's almost there. You know, it's a passing grade.
Yeah, honestly I thought this was a pretty good Martinsville race. It had a lot to live up to from the day before, depending on how you enjoyed the day before. But it certainly was anticlimactic at the end, but it was also a very traditional Martinsville race. I mean, before Martinsville was a cutoff race, that was the type of race that we saw at Martinsville, is what we saw this weekend.
Yes. Yep.
And the fact that they could pass on the outside, and who was the battle that was back and forth for like 10 laps? It was Hamlin and Larson, wasn't it? Back and forth for the lead.
Yeah, they duked it out for a little bit. Hamlin and Blaney were duking it out for a little bit, and then Almirola. That's what
it was. It was Hamlin and Blaney.
I was gonna say Almirola, when he got up there, you could see like he got away, but then as the tires wore down late, his car even came back to where Ryan Blaney was. So it was good to see guys on different pit strategies. The tires just could not hold up for an entire run. They just they would get a lot of wheel spin and they would start coming back.
Yeah,
which was great, fantastic. I'm all for tire wear. Tire wear is always good.
Yeah, I think we're in the right direction. We're heading in the right direction. We've finally seen a little bit of progress with this package. It's not fixed, but it's progress.
Mm-hmm. Yep, need to keep going on it. But yeah, I think it's 80% there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a lot better.
Yeah.
I know people don't like to see long green flag runs. I do. I thought the last stage was very interesting. Especially because he had guys gambling. Like Chase Elliott, if things break a little bit differently, Chase Elliott might win this race too. Because he was fast enough when he was up there, but he had to pit. And then Almirola with a little bit of a different strategy. I mean, it was definitely fast enough to stay up there, but when Blaney finally got to him, there was, not much he could do.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was overall pretty good, pretty decent race.
It was a good Martinsville race. Yeah, better than the spring, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot better.
For sure. Just looking at the results here, Kyle Larson finishes 6th, Christopher Bell 7th. Chris Buescher falls out of the playoffs with an 8th place finish. We lost Martin Truex Jr. with a 12th place finish. Tyler Reddick finishes 26th. They had a bad day. They did not run up front at all. So we got our Final Four now, which is the youngest Final Four ever in Cup Series history. We'll make our pick on this later. We're going to pick the winner of each of the 3 series at the end of the show, so stick around for that. Anything else with Martinsville in the Cup Series that's worth discussing, James?
Denny Hamlin. I gotta talk about this.
Yeah, let's go.
He called Joey Logano some names and called him a terrible human. And I'm like, I don't know if Joey's a terrible human. I think I disagree with that one. He seems like a really nice guy, but maybe that, I don't know. I'm not around him, I guess.
Well, when he puts the helmet on, he's kind of a dick, but that's,
Yeah. I saw, when I heard that audio, man, I laughed. Because Denny's doing a thing, man. He's trying to get to the championship round. And just couldn't get done. But also Denny Hamlin, I was on pins and needles waiting for his post-race interview, and they go to Truex first. I'm like, come on, like Truex never had a chance. Let's get to Denny Hamlin. And Denny, over the years, he has perfected the disappointment.
Yeah.
And
I thought he had a good interview, though. I thought both him and Truex both had good interviews.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He did. He had a great interview. He's just really good at it after so many disappointing finishes.
He's had a lot of practice.
So not to spoil anything, did you pick him as the champion?
Yeah.
On your pick sheet? Okay, I
no.
couldn't remember.
I can't. Who did? No, I think I picked Truex.
Oh well, either way, I had Truex in the Final Four too. So
yeah,
booey.
Yeah,
not good.
I mean, they were both in the Final Four for me, I believe, but I believe I had Truex as the champion from the beginning of the season.
Yep, I got two in the Final Four. I got Byron and Larson, and the rest were. I would have had Bell, but I'm an idiot.
I had Blaney out in the first round, so
I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't go with my gut on Bell. I had a feeling about that, and I didn't stick with it. What a fool.
They're good enough in just the right places to make it through.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I know we're gonna talk championship here in a little bit. I don't want to step on it too much, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah,
I like this crop. I like this crop of drivers.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty happy with whoever gets it. I mean, it's a good mix. I don't think there's anybody there that I'd be disappointed with in the long run. It's nice to have that there's nobody that's like, oh God, if they win, that'll suck.
Yeah, we've got like really cool first timers in this group, and then you've got a guy trying to stack legacy.
Right.
And either way, like. I in my heart of hearts believe that Kyle Larson should be a multi-time champion in this series, and if he gets to 2, that starts changing the conversation with him now.
Yeah.
Of where do you put him? Because guys that have 2, you start to rarefy a little bit more, and then you're one step away from 3, and that's really rare air. But yeah, he gets in the same club as Joey Logano and Kyle Busch with one more championship, and he's only 31 years old. So what does he do with the rest of his career? There's a lot of interesting storylines to be had.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely interesting going forward. So there we go.
Stuff.
Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up the. Well, before we head out. And I guess, we're going to discuss the news, but we'll revisit it in the news. But Aric Almirola announces this weekend that he's retiring from the Cup Series at the end of the season. Or not returning to the Cup Series next season, I guess is probably the way to say it. Because it sounds like
he's returning to Stewart-Haas.
Sounds like he's not retiring. He's just moving to a lower series and part-time. But anyway, great performance for him. Second place finish. He comes out of nowhere.
Dude, he was leading late. It was awesome.
This is the Aric Almirola type of performance where it's just like, where the hell did he come from?
He does it again.
Yeah.
Every time there's a flat racetrack, somehow, some way, he's like a I don't know, he's like a gremlin that just kind of creeps up on you, and there he is. All of a sudden, he's leading the race, and you're rooting for the dang guy,
right? And it's kind of like too.
Like, dang it,
he was kind of like, I don't need to deal with these guys anymore, so I'm just gonna bump them all out of the way and come up through the field.
Yeah, he was freeing.
Blaney was pretty aggressive for Blaney too. I was impressed with some of his aggression. He's usually super clean. I mean, he wasn't dirty, but he was definitely using the bumper, and it was good to see.
We didn't talk about the big moment when Hamlin came down, and Blaney, heck of a save going into turn 3. I was my eyes were wide open on that one because that could have changed the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's the difference between him getting in and not getting in.
Yeah, it was a huge save by Blaney.
Especially when you go back and look at it and see that Denny Hamlin's the one that fell out. If Denny would have wrecked him there, he'd have been in.
He is in, yeah. Yep.
Should have wrecked him.
I guess go for the hook. See if they suspend you.
I was impressed with the Blaney the Blaney conversation afterwards because on the radio, because I expected Blaney to be just PO'd about it because they had their issues at Homestead, but Blaney was like, "No, I know what he was trying to do. He's trying to get in. No biggie." It's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad Blaney's better than me because I'd have been ready to kill him.
Yeah, and Larson was racing Hamlin extremely tight too. Normally you see Larson kind of give way a little bit. He doesn't race that way, but when him and Hamlin were together, man, he was on it. He was up on the wheel.
Did you see the old Carson Hocevar come back at the end of the race? Did you see that?
The comeback?
Yeah, I don't remember who he wrecked, but the old Carson Hocevar returned. He turned somebody after the
check-in. Yeah. That now I know what you mean. Yeah, he's watch it. I would say
he had a little relapse there.
Yeah, you don't want to do that with the big dogs, especially next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I'd do that.
And then I saw,
But yeah, you're right.
I saw on Reddit too that the TV never discussed it, but Ty Gibbs was after somebody at the end of the race too and tried to wreck somebody. So
Was it Joey?
yeah, it was Joey. That's right, it was Joey. Brett checked him a couple times.
Well, Joey wiped him out.
Okay.
Which Joey wiped him out, and then into Hamlin. That was early.
Yep.
And then that's what gave Brad his problem too, because Brad got involved in that.
Yeah. Yeah, that
was
Joey.
That was what led to the conversation Denny Hamlin had about Joey being a bad human.
There you go.
So what was that whole situation?
Good stuff.
But yeah, good short track racing, man. We had bumpers. It was good, not bad.
Yeah, we didn't have the drama at the end, but we had the fill of it the day before, probably for the entire weekend, maybe the end of the season. So.
Good transition.
Yeah, with that, let's talk about the Dead On Tools 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Martinsville.
Or the last restart?
Well, I don't know, James, because this whole race just had the aggression just pegged. This was a bumper car fest from the beginning to the end. The whole time, I just figured the entire field was mad at each other and ready to wreck each other. Did not expect teammates to do it at the end. But, I did when the restart happened, and it's Creed and Austin Hill at the end battling for the win. Win or go home between the guy who's, the longtime vision of RCR and the guy who's going somewhere else next year. It wasn't exactly surprising how it turned out. But let's first give credit to Justin Allgaier for being in the right place at the right time. To squeeze by at the end as the teammates ran into each other and sneak out a win and cost Sheldon Creed another win in the Xfinity
and a championship berth.
My God. Is there anybody who has lost more races more spectacularly than Sheldon Creed?
That one takes the cake. That one's on the Hall of Fame plaque.
I don't know.
Of him losing races.
Darlington last year was pretty good too. I watched that happen right in front of me, and I don't know, man.
The fireworks off the track were as good as the fireworks on the track afterwards. So
yeah. So let's talk about the issues with Creed and Hill first of all, because for one, in theory, if Hill backs off and lets Creed win the race, they both make it. However, Jeff Gluck said that Freddie Kraft corrected him and said no, that at that point Custer was in position to clinch it, but we still don't know what happens coming off of turn 4. So there's still a chance that they both get in if Hill doesn't get into Creed. But did you see? Because I watched this a bunch of times. I've
watched it a lot.
Did you see anything wrong with what happened, especially on Creed's part?
They were racing really freaking hard.
He didn't wreck him. He moved him out of the way. If anybody did anything wrong, I think it's Hill running in the back of him.
Let me say that I don't think anybody did anything wrong. I will point out that Creed breaking at the exit of 3 into 4 kind of baffles me a little bit.
But he claims he slipped in oil.
That car stopped pretty. I don't know.
He's just trying to make the turn. It's Hill's responsibility not to hit him, right?
I totally understand that. I just feel like the optics of it are strange because I don't think Creed did anything wrong.
I think if you were to take one of the two drivers and say who was most wrong in this situation, I think Austin Hill was most wrong.
Yes, he was. But what the heck? This is my problem with the whole situation. I know Austin Hill's mad, and Andy Petrie's mad, and Richard's mad, and everybody's mad. What are they supposed to do?
Right.
Like they're both. The only thing you can do is have one guy win a race beforehand and lock themselves in because they're fighting for the same real estate.
If you don't want Creed to go for it, then why the hell do you have him in the car? Why didn't you just fire him the second he announced he was leaving?
Well, there you go. But he's still in the championship hunt. That's the problem.
Well, that's the thing, and so you can't.
They all want to win.
You can't have it both ways. You either want him to try to win, or you don't. And I'm sorry. I think this gives me more respect for Sheldon Creed in my mind because I know Sheldon Creed's not going to play the teammate game.
I agree, and they shouldn't have to.
No.
He shouldn't have to. And Austin Hill was banging on him as much as Sheldon
exactly.
was. They were both of them. There was zero give.
Right.
There was zero bleeps given and zero give.
Yeah. But
these guys were going for it.
They really, if you take out the giant wreck that happened off of turn 4, if you take that part out, this is just a battle for the win. I mean, they didn't even really lean on each other that hard.
I tell you.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I tell you another thing, just to give you the apples to apples comparison. A year ago, we jumped all over Ty Gibbs for wiping his teammate out in the same race.
Yep.
Like, and blatantly wiping his teammate out.
Yeah.
So what would you rather have?
Exactly. Creed didn't wreck him.
No, or would and even so, Hill didn't wreck Creed.
Right.
Like, would you rather have both of these guys wipe each other out like Ty Gibbs did, or would you like them to fight it fair and square, which I think they did. I thought they fought for it fair and square.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I understand the emotions are high, especially for Childress, who just went from
bad look too.
Went from potentially 2 playoff drivers to 0 playoff drivers. So I get it. I understand. And it also, in his eyes, is the guy who's leaving, who you are, feel slighted by because he's leaving your organization. But to call Creed stupid the way he did.
Stupidest driver he's ever had.
Yeah.
It's a bad look for the company. And Andy Petrie, I think Andy Petrie chewing him out on pit road was even more.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's look at me.
Yep.
And then you got Austin Hill. He's barking at the two's pit box and clapping his hands.
Yeah. For all he knows, he's got to work with those guys next year. That was pretty stupid.
It's all stupid. Holy
cow. A bunch of children, man. That's what it is.
Well, I guess so. Yeah.
And the funny thing is when people leave RCR, James. Do you ever see people leave RCR on good terms?
It's always a mess, isn't it?
I mean,
it's not good. They got a weird culture going on over there.
It's something. I mean, it's old school, I guess. So maybe people got hurt feelings back in the day when you'd switch teams. But I'll tell you, man, it's like, it reminds me of old jobs that I've had. I've had 2 types of jobs. I've had the type of job that you get a different job that's a better opportunity, and everybody at that, all your employers go, oh man, awesome, that's congratulations, and wish you luck and whatever. And then you have the one that you're dead to them when you leave.
Yep.
And that seems to be RCR. If you say you're leaving, no matter what the reason, you're dead to them, and you might as
Harvick.
well. Yeah. I mean, so I don't know. So the
Unless
question,
your last name is Dylan, I guess.
Exactly. Is Creed in the 2-car this weekend?
Yeah, I think they'll let him finish it out. What are they going to? That would be a worse look to kick him out.
Real bad decision to not run him. Real bad decision.
Yeah, it would be worse.
But
the timing could not be worse.
Jesse Love's probably free to get in that car.
I'm sure he is. Unless he's still under contract until the end of the year with Toyota. I don't know how that works.
I don't know. That's just
no.
money.
They'll let Creed. I mean, Creed's can still finish for points. I mean, he's still in the top 10, so I assume that they'll let him race. It'd be awesome if he won. That would be really funny.
I'd like to see him go out there and wreck Austin Hill for the win.
The most meaningless win at the
spike the helmet off the top of the car at the end.
Yeah, just a little spite win. Just a little spite.
But man, you wanted chaos. This was chaos. A lot of hard hits in that wreck on the end.
God, it looked like a demo derby out there.
Jeb Burton hit the inside wall a ton. Holy cow.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention Cole Custer getting to the Final Four by flooring it backwards with a car that could barely move.
Yeah.
And getting to the line. That was unbelievable.
A
mess.
I feel for the folks, and we may know one of them, that had to figure out the scoring of that after caution came out.
Yeah.
I didn't ask how late they were there after that, but yeah.
What a mess. I tweeted out that I thought they should just leave the track and not clean it for Sunday.
Hey, that'd have been put on a good show.
Yeah, I think they cleaned it, so. Oh, man.
And then Sammy Smith, he's not happy with John Hunter Nemechek. He says that he's got no teammate next weekend. Phoenix, so he's not going to help John Hunter win the championship.
I'm sure Joe will have a conversation.
I'm sure. What do you think? Xfinity Series again outshining the Cup Series? I mean, this is what NASCAR wants here, right?
I mean, they like carnage apparently. So yeah. Yep.
Once again,
go for it.
let's scrap the next gen cars, man, and just put the Cup guys in the Xfinity cars.
Just bump them up. Yep, bump them up a series.
There you go. Yeah. Let's see. I don't even have my results open for this race because really all I care about is that finish.
Wild finish.
Justin Allgaier did lead.
Justin Allgaier.
He did lead a total of 21 laps in this race. Won stage 1. Good for Justin. Good for Junior Motorsports to get another car into the championship 4. Would love to see Justin go and seal this deal and get this done finally. He deserves a championship, I think, in the Xfinity Series.
Yep.
So 2 Junior Motorsports cars in the final 4. It's kind of scary.
Yep, 1 Gibbs and 1 Stuart Haas trying to salvage something from this 2023.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed gets another second place finish in a career of second place finishes.
I'm gonna look that up and see how many he's got now.
It's a lot. It is a lot. I'm trying to think. Austin Hill ends up 21st in the 21 car.
God.
How many second place finishes?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. And they've all been in the last. Well, almost all of them are this season. He has two last year, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was his 4th one of the season, and he's got a pair of 3rds on there as well. So
incredible.
He'll get a win next year when he's in a Gibbs car, which I think that we all knew that was going to happen, but that announcement kind of leaked out.
Yeah. Yeah, Austin Hill made that announcement.
Yeah, he did. Everybody's just ignoring it like it didn't happen. Yeah.
Sammy Smith, credit Sammy Smith. 5th in first stage, 1st in the second stage, 147 laps led, needed to win to get to the final 4. And certainly had the opportunity, ended up 3rd with the carnage, but and in his mind partially at the fault of John Hunter Nemechek. But good for Sammy Smith to almost make it into the final 4.
Is that the guy next year? Looking ahead to the Xfinity Series, is he going to be the problem?
I thought he was going to be this year, to be honest. He kind of fell off in the middle of the year, but I think he's the dude. I think he's the one.
He might be the dude. Like John Hunter's been the dude. Now Sammy Smith might be the dude.
I mean, I'm really
He's
interested.
Just a pup.
I'm really interested to see what Sheldon Creed does in the JGR car. To see if there's potential there or not. I do kind of agree with. I mean, I wouldn't call him stupid, but I do think that Sheldon Creed makes poor decisions. And I think that is why he hasn't won.
Yeah.
I do think there's some truth to that. But I mean, we've seen a lot of really great drivers that it's taken a while to rein in. So that doesn't mean he's a bad driver. It just means he goes over his head at times and can't finish. But to see him in a JGR car, I mean, he's going to have better equipment, you would assume, next year than what he's got in the Childress car. So what does that mean for him? Is he going to be able to get those wins? And I think when he gets a win, it could be scary. So we might see him click off some more. He's definitely been there. He's definitely had the opportunities. You just referenced how many second place finishes he has, and most of those have been pretty close to wins. So he's one to watch. Riley Herbst is going to be one to watch next year. I think he's going to.
I think Chandler Smith's in that conversation too.
Yep, totally agree there.
It's going to be a good series next year, right?
Yeah.
Really, like another good crop of talent.
Yeah, I mean, we're graduating what? We're graduating Josh Berry and John Hunter Nemechek, and is that it?
Maybe Cole Custer? Maybe.
You think so?
I don't know what the 10...
No, I think the 10 is set.
I don't know.
I think the 10 is set.
If it's Noah, then...
It's Noah.
Yeah, we'll see. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Noah. We haven't heard a rumor about Noah anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's Noah.
But man, that's going to be a sponsorship nightmare, and that team just doesn't need it. But it's not like Cole Custer's raking it in either. So
yeah, it's true. Well, there you go. You're set for the Xfinity Series. We have Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, John Hunter Nemechek, and Cole Custer in the final 4 again in a minute. Here we'll make our picks for those. With that, let's talk some news, James. There's really not much. I guess the biggest thing is NASCAR has announced it's not going to repossess the 51 charter. despite the fact that I think this is their third year that they'll finish last of the charter teams in the points. However, NASCAR has said that their alliance with RFK, the use of Roush Yates engines, signing Justin Haley, all commitments to performance going forward, and that they're going to allow them to continue. So
we'll see.
I mean, I think that's the right choice. I think if they wouldn't have done those things, if we wouldn't see them making the steps, they've improved. They've improved this season. They're definitely trying. They're not just there riding around. So it took a while to get to that point, but I think it's the right choice.
We'll see.
So
yeah.
Other news, we mentioned Aric Almirola officially done in the 10 car. Smithfield immediately announced after that Smithfield is also leaving NASCAR. Expectations, as I said, are that Noah Gragson is going to take over that ride next season. However, Stewart-Haas Racing, Anheuser-Busch and Smithfield, two big sponsors, full-time season sponsors that are out. Where does the money come from now for those two cars?
This has been the problem I've been screaming about. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah. In a team that's struggling, you know?
They should have, I don't know. I feel like they needed to go and get a guy, and they just didn't go get a guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or a girl.
Or a girl, yeah.
No.
Well,
Haley's not the one.
Haley's
She's
not
the
ready.
One yet. No.
She's not ready. But like when Kyle Busch was available, I don't know. I would have tried something different than what they've got going on.
Maybe they did. We don't know.
I mean, those drivers. I mean, if those teams are going to be competitive at all, what are those drivers making? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's. I don't know. I don't like any of where they're at right now.
And bringing someone in like, again, no offense to Noah Gragson, but bringing somebody in like Noah Gragson's not going to come there and improve the organization. I mean,
No.
Noah's still learning. Noah's going to be an anchor on, and you got Josh Berry, who is a veteran but not. You know what I mean? And
I know.
I mean,
I know.
It's,
and Chase Briscoe is the longest tenured guy there now, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's not ready to be a veteran leader, I don't think.
No.
He hasn't proven himself enough yet. So I don't know. I don't know where the leadership is on that team as far as drivers.
Ryan Preece isn't it?
No.
Priest isn't it?
I mean,
yeah.
Nothing against Briscoe and Preece. I think they're good drivers. They're just not
we
ready to
know
lead
they're-
a team.
Dude, one thing I know is they've got 4 drivers who can really drive.
Yeah.
It's the organization that I'm concerned about.
Yep.
And you're trying to, I don't know. You don't have a foundation. You've got a tree with no roots, right?
Yeah.
It can blow over so easily. And I think that's where they're at right now. They've got really, it's really pretty to look at when you've got a Chase Briscoe and, Josh Berry. Like, those are really nice pieces, but there's no, with Harvick being gone, there's nothing there. So,
Yeah.
but maybe that's Rodney Childress in that 4 car staying there. Maybe that's what you're banking on, but I don't know. I would have tried to figure something else out than what they've got going on here with these young guys. This is
Maybe this might not have been another option.
I guess they really screwed up.
I mean, that's the thing, though, is you're losing 2 major sponsors. You got to pay these guys something. So you're not going to get the big names. You're not going to get the Kyle Bushes if you're not going to pay them. I realize you've got, you've got Haas money, but is Haas
It ain't endless.
Yeah, exactly. Is he willing to pump all that money in there?
And Ford said no to Kyle Larson when he was available. That's a game changer too.
Yeah,
like that changes your future there. But
you
don't
get
get that guy.
That cost him a championship. I mean, really,
Yeah.
Larson won a championship. What do you want in a Ford? For Stewart-Haas? Maybe. I mean, at that time they were still pretty good.
Yeah, they were coming off a 9-win season or whatever it was, 10-win season with that team. So
yeah, so certainly could be a different landscape. That's for sure.
A mess. Yeah.
And that's it, James. There's really nothing else for news. We head into championship weekend this weekend. Don't really expect a lot of news this week anyway. It's usually pretty quiet heading into championship weekend. All 3 series in action. Yeah, what's up?
I have breaking news.
Oh, what's breaking news? What's that?
Andy Petrie was just on Sirius XM.
Oh yeah.
And his quote was, "The problem I had was that they just didn't race off the last corner.
Oh my gosh.
I just felt like it could have been I felt like Sheldon Creed, could have handled that better."
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Oh my gosh.
What in the hell?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I get it. The guy's leaving your organization, so you're going to side with the guy who's staying.
What the hell?
But
just don't say anything at all.
Exactly. Don't do it in public. Do it behind
My mom taught me that when I was 2.
You have a competition meeting on Monday for a reason. Say it in the meeting. Don't talk to anybody. If you
don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Yeah.
They didn't race off the corner. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
yeah, because John Hunter Nemechek was wrecking Austin Hill, but nobody's mad at him.
And Justin Allgaier was barreling in the inside.
Right?
Oh my
Even if
God.
they did race off the turn, then they're just 3 wide, and Allgaier still wins it. So what does it matter?
It doesn't matter at all.
Stupid. Anyway, James, championship weekend. We head from the excitement of Martinsville to the blah of Phoenix.
Oh, we're setting it up really nice.
Hopefully it's a good weekend of racing. All 3 series in action, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, which I always enjoy a good Friday, Saturday, Sunday mix of races. We're going to make our picks. Let's, so again, you know, this, I didn't even look at what our picks
Start
were.
with the trucks.
Let's pick our winners first for the Cup Series. Because I assume we're going to pick different than the champions because champions don't get points.
Race winners, yes.
Race
winners.
So I did beat you this week, so I'm still leading in the playoffs at least.
Yes, you did. You had a good 10 race stretch.
Yeah, so I do have something to work for here, and I'm probably going to. We'll see. I'm probably going to ruin your plan, but I only got one more chance to do it, so I'm going to pick. I'm picking Kevin Harvick as my winner this weekend.
Dang it, you did it. I wanted to take Kevin for the last ride.
Should we share him? It don't matter. You won anyway.
No, we won't share him. Gosh darn it.
I
wanted to have the last Kevin Harvick pick.
That's the only joy I get, James, of sucking so bad all season.
Darn it.
When you said it, I knew I was going to take it from you.
Son of a gun. You threw me off now. I'm all out of whack.
Good. Now you got to find somebody else.
Well, this is funny. Neither you or I have picked Ryan Blaney this entire playoff run, and he's in the championship 4. But Ryan Blaney does not earn stage points, so I'm gonna just let me see here.
I'm so glad I ruined it for you.
You really did.
I feel a little bad, but not really.
Give me a guy who was really good last week and might show up again here. Give me Chase Briscoe. I'll just take Chase Briscoe. Last race of the year. After I just dogged Stewart Haas Racing for that long, but I'll take Chase. I could have taken Joey maybe, but I'll take Chase.
Joey was he was who I was gonna go with, and then I'm like, nah, I gotta pick Kevin.
What a bummer.
And Kevin runs good here too, so you know
he will run good. Yeah, that's what I want. I wanted the Swan Song, and you took it, but that's okay. At least he's picked. Yeah, so that's good.
Of anybody who would go out there and not give a crap about the playoff race and just go win the race, it'd be Harvick, right?
Yep.
And he don't have anybody to please.
No. Yeah, he's gonna. I hope he goes.
Doesn't need to worry about the sponsors. He just go out there and win the damn race.
That's what I say. Go get it, man.
There you go. Let's pick our champions now, James. So we start with the Truck Series.
Okay.
We kind of already did this last week, I think, but we can change it if we pick differently.
Well, do we want to pick? Yeah, do we want to have pick differently, or do you want to just say who you like?
Let's pick a champion. We can pick the same. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
We don't have to pick different.
Okay.
So I don't remember how I have it on the sheet. Do I have you picking first? I have you picking first for the truck. So you go ahead. Who is your pick for the champion for the Truck Series?
Well, as much fun as it would be to see Ben Rhodes get it, I have my heart. I got to go with my heart.
Okay.
I want Carson Hocevar. I'm going to take Carson Hocevar. That being said, I think Corey Heim might be a problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the one that I think is gonna win it, and I'm gonna go with Corey Heim. So
yeah, I'm gonna try to will Carson Hocevar to win this Truck Series championship and ride off into the sunset into the Cup Series.
Yeah. I mean, I really would be disappointed if it's anybody but Corey Heim and Carson Hocevar. I mean, nothing against Ben Rhodes and Grant Enfinger. They just don't feel like they've been in it for me this year.
Ben Rhodes is fun. He's a fun winner.
Fun. It would be a very entertaining championship. It was in the past. So, Yeah, that would be a fun one. So,
And that being said, we hardly talked about Grant Enfinger, and he'll probably win it.
Probably.
The trucks is always the hardest one for me. I feel like.
Yeah, it'd be a good win for them to walk off with the end of GMS in the Truck Series to get a championship win. So,
Yep.
be pretty cool. Any of them's a good story. So,
Yep.
NASCAR Xfinity Series. I get first pick on the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and oh man, do I want to just go with the obvious?
I mean, it's hard not to.
I'm gonna. Just for the fun of it, I'm going to go with momentum, and I'm going to say Sam Mayer gets the championship here.
Ooh, I thought you were when you said momentum. I thought
he'll
take Allgaier.
No,
I thought you'd take Allgaier.
I'm going Sam Mayer.
Ah, crap. I'm going to go with my heart again. Give me Justin Allgaier.
Okay.
Again, John Hunter's probably the guy.
This is funny because you have picked the driver that I want to win. In both of them,
and that's why I want to win. And Justin deserves it. Go get it. I mean, come on, go get it. John Hunter's so overwhelming, though. He's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
He's gonna be really tough to beat.
Yeah, I think this is John Hunter's championship. I really do. I don't see JGR coming in here and not taking this thing, especially with one car to focus on.
Yeah,
I think they get it.
Yeah, and then there's Cole Custer, who's maybe.
None of these four. Honestly, the one who would surprise me the most is the one I picked.
Yeah, I agree with that
because I just think but the thing is the pressure. He's already overcome the pressure.
Yeah, he just doesn't lead a lot. That's the one thing with him. He doesn't lead a lot of laps.
And all he needs is that last pit stop, man.
Doesn't matter. Yep, you just got to be around. I think he'll be around. I think Sam Mayer will be around. I don't think there's a bad pick to be had.
No, I don't think so.
Crap, yeah.
Cup Series. You get first pick. Who's your pick for championship in the Cup Series?
Oh, doggy. Well,
hold on.
I'm in a bit of a conundrum.
I was going to say before you do this, we've got probably who you want to pick because you probably feel is probably the best pick, but you've got the guy that you've stuck with since the very beginning of the season. So are you gonna duck out on him, or are you gonna take it?
I wavered. I know. No. So the beginning of the year, so I've picked William Byron to make the last two Final Fours.
Yeah.
And then this year I said, you know what? I'm not going to fall for it again. And he won me over again, that son of a gun. So I picked Byron at the beginning of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I really like Larson. And I would love to see Blaney get one. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say William Byron is the Cup Series champion this year.
There you go. I'm going to do something really stupid, James. Really stupid. And I'm going to bet against Kyle Larson. But I got to go with Dale Jr. And I got to go Ryan Blaney. Like you said, Junior's got the script, man. He knows. He knows the script. So
he knows.
If Junior says Blaney's going to win, I got to go with Junior. So
yep.
I think Blaney's done enough to get here. I really, really question. We've got a couple guys here for the first time, and will the pressure get to them? Because there's a lot of pressure here, and they've never experienced it before. Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson both have. I really think Kyle Larson's going to win this championship. But
I mean, that's the guy. He locked in early. William Byron's coming in under a lot of duress.
But man, if they run like they did last weekend, I mean,
that's the thing with him.
It's 1 week between Martinsville and Phoenix, and they're not that different of tracks. Do we really expect the two Hendrick cars to go out there and win this race?
Hendrick's been preparing for this for a few weeks already.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
And I don't.
Chad Knaus already has that car all cheated up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's not a guy in this group that I would be disappointed with if they won this title.
No.
I really like this group. I'm
cheering against Kyle Larson just because I want a new winner, a new champion. But I would love to see Kyle Larson get a second because, like you said earlier, I think the legacy of Kyle Larson puts him in a new category. I think he's going to get there anyway, so why not this year?
And it'd be cool to have the defending Cup champion also, what a storyline for the Indy 500 next year.
That's
as
really
he's coming
true.
in. So you've got you've got the reigning Cup champ, two-time Cup champ.
I want to change my pick now. That's got to be the script, right?
It could be the script. But I don't know, man. There's been something special about Byron all year, and maybe the magic's run out, or maybe there's one more rabbit at the bottom of the hat, and he can pull that bad boy out one more time. Maybe. I don't think he's the favorite going in, though. I think it's Larson, and I think it's Blaney.
Which of the four would be the biggest surprise champion?
As much as I'd say Bell, but at the beginning of the playoffs, it might have been it's either Bell or Blaney. But I think if you look at the season as a whole, it's Blaney.
Yeah,
he's only got 7 top 5s. It's not like he's
I
been killing.
I think Bell would be a bigger surprise to me.
He's so young. Well, he's not. I mean, yeah, he's young, and Bell hasn't won a lot of races.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't know. I mean, they've been able to come through in clutch situations, but this is a different deal. So
there's not a lot of wins in this championship for
no.
you know. There's no Daytona 500s. There's no like Larson's probably
that's
got
what happens when you have the youngest group, though. I mean, we don't.
Yeah.
There's no veteran here. Larson's the closest to a veteran,
and Larson's probably got as many wins as these guys combined, or it's pretty close.
Right. I mean, do you call Larson a veteran at this point? Is he a veteran?
Oh yeah, I'd say Larson's a veteran. Okay, he's a veteran.
So
I wouldn't say he's like a grizzled veteran,
right?
You know, there's a Brad Keselowski veteran and there's a Kyle Larson veteran.
Right.
There's two different ends of the scale. Kyle's definitely on the bottom of that scale.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, if I had to rank them, I'd say it's Larson, Blaney, Byron, Bell as the way it's gonna rack out. But I just don't know. It's just too wild sometimes.
Yeah,
I'll stick with it. Go get
stuff.
it, Bill.
I already know. I didn't look at the fantasy, but I already know who won because I got the tweet. How did fantasy go this week, James?
Well, some fun news that I'll share. Our buddy Byron Speedway, he is 55th now.
That's awesome.
Overall. So and he's within I don't think he'll finish first, but he's within 130 of the leader.
That's incredible.
Overall standing, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so Ranger, 3-time champ, gets the win. Team Justin 2nd, Byron 3rd. I was 4th. Aric was 7th.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And then the playoff standings, just for fun, the playoff standings. Byron Speedway passed me. He's up 8. I'm in 2nd. Ranger's 3rd. And then overall standings, Aric, as we wind down. Last year I was stressed out trying to win a championship. This year it's all for 2nd. Byron Speedway, 71.46, and I am in 2nd place at 67.51. What a domination! He could just skip it, and he'll be fine.
So we should definitely get him scheduled to be on the show, huh?
Yeah, get him ready. Yeah, get him ready. He's definitely there. Well, he's been there for all season. I mean, this is a whole season. It's just a culmination.
It's like our picks points. You've had that all season, and
Yep. So we had 2nd place was a battle, and now it's between me and Ranger, which it's always between me and Ranger, no matter what. So me and Ranger will fight for 2nd. Tandem Draft Tona's 4th. Green Eggs and Hamlin 5th. Aric, you are 7th in the final season standings. You are not quite 1,000 points behind Byron Speedway.
Yeah.
What a domination. Unbelievable.
It's incredible. 1,000 points. I can come back.
It's more like 800, so you're okay. Yeah, I
can come back. No problem.
Yeah, bonus points.
Piece of cake.
Remember, if you're listening and you play in the fantasy league, the championship 4 do not get stage points. So, and that counts.
There you go. All right, James, got any shout outs this week?
Yes. Well, it's kind of a shout out, I guess. So I listened to the Teardown last night. Yeah. And was enjoying it. And then Jeff Gluck and Jordan did the poll. And Jordan guessed 75% was for the good race poll. And Jeff laughed in his face and said, "There's no way. I can't wait. I'm going to win this bet for the whole year."
Yeah, but Jordan did try to bribe the audience.
He's Jordan plays games. But the way that Jeff peacocked all over.
It was pretty funny.
We've got 9 hours to go, and Jordan's doing just fine. 79.4% is at yes, 20% no. So Jeff's gonna lose his bet, and it's all because he peacocked on the podcast, and it came back to bite him.
If you don't follow the Teardown, the winner of the Good Race Poll gets to choose the outfit for the loser at Daytona for Daytona 500 weekend, and Jordan Bianchi is very fashion conscious. Probably too fashion conscious for the NASCAR Cup Series garage. Certainly too much for Jeff Gluck, the epitome of dad wear. And when Gluck loses, he's going to have to dress pretty fancy, and it's going to be hilarious.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be leisure suit Jeff at Daytona. Yep. So
Yep. So that's my shout out and black flag at the same time. Shout out to Jordan, and I'm going to give Jeff the black flag just because he's. And listen, man, if anybody knows about peacocking too soon on a podcast, I let me tell you.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Me. That's me right there. So I feel your pain, but you deserve it at the same time.
There you go. I've got 2 quick shout outs because my black flag's pretty quick too, because I've already kind of discussed it. So shout out quick to Owasso Speedway. Lots of talk this season on the podcast as they've got new owners out there, and I've been out there a few times and really enjoying the stuff that they're doing. They are working on the track right now, putting in catch fencing around the speedway. I think they said like 90 poles or something like that they're putting in. It looks top notch. Looks like the same type of catch fencing they put in at Dover. So I mean, they're putting the money into the place. So I know they've got a bunch of work to do in the off season. So very cool to see them continue to invest in a very old racetrack. One with a ton of history in Michigan, one that we've had Cup drivers race on in the past. Very cool that they're putting the work in. The other one that I have real quick is another YouTuber, NFJJ, put a piece out, I think today or yesterday. I think it was today, on the history of traction control in the Cup Series.
Ooh.
It's a very interesting watch, talking about some of the controversy and how it was probably a bigger deal than we all realized. If Reddit would have been around back in the 90s when the traction control dilemma was going on. If you remember from that time, NASCAR eventually changed the ignition boxes to where they had to be installed visible. They used to be encased in the dash, and they now are open on the dash so that NASCAR can inspect them easily, because they were essentially taking traction control boxes and plugging them into the ignition. The drivers were when they went out on the track, and then pulling them out before they got out of the car at the end of the race. Best example of it, I think it was 96. It was 96, 97. Jeff Gordon won at Atlanta and tried to do a burnout on the front stretch, and it looked pretty ridiculous. And everybody claimed that they had traction control, but the only driver ever busted for it was in the Truck Series. So, there's a lot of controversy out there as to whether NASCAR punished people behind the scenes because they didn't want to taint the legacy of drivers who likely won with traction control, because there was talk that in the 90s that at least half the field was doing it. So very interesting watch there. So my black flag, as I already mentioned, it's going to Richard Childress Racing. Just the cluster stuff. Again, just do it behind closed doors. You can be as toxic as you want to be, but just don't do it in the public. It's a really bad look, and it'll be a super bad look if Sheldon doesn't race in that car this weekend. Like I said, I don't think they call Sheldon stupid. I don't think they're that stupid to do that. But it's disappointing. My favorite driver's racing over there for that team, and I had to kind of put my head in my hands on Saturday night and go,
bad. Yeah.
What the hell are they doing over there? So,
Yep.
Stop doing it in the public eye. Fight your battles behind closed doors. Don't let the public see it. So there you go. James, where can people hit you up on social media if they want to chat with you during the week?
At James Cush on Twitter, X, whatever.
I'm at
that one.
At T Super Speedway on X. Podcast is on Facebook at facebook.com/The Super Speedway. Our website is thesuperspeedway.com. You can find old episodes of the podcast there, links, show notes, all that stuff. You can find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and Anchor. Wherever you found us today, we hope you subscribe for new episodes each and every week, at least until the season is over next week, and then we'll take a little break, as we often do in the off season. And if you go to anchor.fm/thesuperspeedway, you can leave us an audio message, and we might just play it on the show. James, it feels like it wasn't too long ago we were kicking things off with the Daytona 500. Next weekend, we wrap up all 3 series. Championship weekend at Phoenix International Raceway. We'll be back afterwards to discuss it all, break it all down, and congratulate our 3 new series champions. Until then, everybody, let's go racing.